Hey guys, welcome to my Cactus of the Day video. It's been a long morning already. I got up early to water and fertilize because I haven't done that in quite some time. And yeah, now I'm already tired and I haven't even done the pollination work, or most of the pollination work. I got up in the morning and the flowers weren't really open yet, so I decided to do some other work. And yeah, it's exhausting when you have so many plants. It never ends. You are watering on one side, and once you're at the end, you need to start again. So yeah, that's pretty rough. But let's have a look what's going on. These here are sorted out. This one, I don't like this at all. This looks like a Erwinia infection or something like that. Definitely also with, I don't know, with other problems, nutrient problems. This one will go in the trash. Not even on the compost. This will go straight into the trash. So after the watering with 4 water cans. These are small ones, 5 liters. This big one is 10 liters, and it didn't I need more of the big ones. I like old school stuff. I know there are more efficient ways to water, but I like to decide which plant gets how much water, and it's rather easy with these. But yeah, still, this is a lot of work. It's insane to do it like this. I'm just, sometimes, you do stuff that you just like to do. I enjoy watering my plants, and when I'm outside I listen to podcasts, that kind of stuff. So yeah, not everything needs to be 100% efficient. Alright, I started weeding out this area, but haven't gotten till here. Only this part, and I'm not done yet. This will take a few more days until I'm done. Here's a plant that I've filmed recently because it had a terrible sunburn. This was a plant that I brought outside, not bothering at all about the sun. Like in spring, I had already sorted this one out last year. Didn't even want to keep it, but I didn't want to put it on the compost bin, so I brought it into the cellar. And when I brought it out, it got a terrible sunburn. And again, I don't care. The plants here need to deal with it. So yeah, and I treated it nicely, gave it lots of care, and now check this out. There's 3 flower buds. The sunburn has grown out. Sunburn isn't that big of a deal if you treat the plants right, and if the climate isn't like humidity. So this is a WÖRLITZ Asterix hybrid. I will keep it because I like both parents. It's not a good flower, definitely not, but I will keep it because it's useful to do crosses between Trichocereus and Lobivia. Then I have here a new one. Let me check this one out. Oh, this is probably Lobivia taratensis hybrid. But I will need to look at the label. This could also be something with Altena. I'm not sure. But this is good because if it's Lobivia taratensis, I lost it at some winter, and that would be good to have one that looks exactly like that. So then I have this one. This is fantastic, right? This is a super beautiful flower. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Lobivia. I like Lobivia. I like them a lot. And this is a hybrid by Utah Shots. I've already taken photos last year, but it looks even better this year. Very beautiful hybrid that might even be worthy of being named and propagated. But yeah, that is something that Utah needs to decide, the breeder. This one finally closed. Hilde Winterer, Anton Maas. Good hybrid. Here needs weeding. This one is opening up, but yeah, not sure if I will pollinate it. Probably not. Then I have this thing, Trichocereus arboricola. I moved that to the latest, the distant part of the garden because it's so like it pollinates all kinds of stuff, so I don't want it around other plants. Yeah, this plant would never get into my greenhouse when it's flowering. It's a nightmare to control, you know. There's so much pollen and it's in the air everywhere. This is Lobivia hybrid Asterix. I think this one has successfully pollinated. The other two maybe too, which is great. I like that. This is Miraculix. Probably this one took. Not sure about the others. So this one is a hybrid between WÖRLITZ, Candicans and Buena Vista. Very nice contrast, beautiful flowers. Also a yellow throat at the base. I love that. Yeah, super beautiful flower. And I pollinated it with Gold. Yeah, CANTORA hybrid, flying saucer CANTORA hybrid. Then I have this one here. I repotted it, and I think it will drop the flower bud. Normally I don't repot around this time of year, like when they are flowering, but this one just needed it, you know. Sometimes you see something, a problem that needs to be addressed right away. Yeah, if it drops the flower buds, that's okay. I know that next year or the next couple of years there will be more. Yeah, later today I will continue watering. I only did these here and I still need to water these. Like I said, I like to water a lot. I water a lot more than I fertilize. Fertilization is important, but water is more important. They need water to produce flowers and be healthy. And yeah, I put water on them all the time, every time they need it. This one is starting to develop. This will be the first flush, then this one, and then the other two. By the way, check out my cactus beer crate. These things are perfect for like putting like cuttings in. So this one got a lot of water because it's starting to flower. This is Trichocereus Schaffery yellow that needs a lot of water. 2 flower buds. If I had watered it more, it would have gotten more flower buds. So maybe I can tickle a few more out of it, but we see. Not sure. This is a multi-hybrid, Echinopsis, Trichocereus, Lobivia, all that stuff. Yeah, nice that it's flowering because it didn't look so good. It needed a repotting, and after the repotting it always takes a little bit of time. They usually go into root modus. They grow roots instantly because they notice they have space that they haven't had, and yeah, it can take away from the flowering. Happens a lot. Yeah, this area here, check this out. This thing gets knobbier and bigger every day. I like this one. Oh, and the spider is cool too. Hey spider friend. He's protecting my plants. Yeah, this is Gräsers Erfolg in Selbstbestäubung. This plant has become a monster to handle, and I think about taking off the main column because you can't move it anymore. It grows into all directions. This is like a square meter, and it falls on other plants, like with the massive spines that it has. Yeah, not good. Here's another one. This is a perfect example. Like, check out how massive this plant is, and then they don't flower. Yeah, over there in the top, I will have to like remove the tip, but I'm waiting for the flowers to open. The seedlings look great. I'm very happy with the way the seedlings from winter have turned out. I'm starting to feel comfortable that I can raise everything, that I really put like effort in. Sometimes you look, there are a lot of experts or experts that think they are experts that have a super high rate of loss. They lose a lot of seedlings because you don't talk about the plants that you are losing. A lot of people stopped sharing sick plants or negative experiences because this whole online landscape is always like, you cannot post something where something went wrong without people being all over the comments, telling you what to do, telling you stuff that isn't even the right way to deal with the problem. You cannot share problems without being like, I don't know, people do not like to share the failures that they have very often. So I've seen some some very, very widely known breeders that cannot raise seedlings like from seeds. And I've been one for a very long time. I've put in a lot of work and I failed very often. It got to a point where I was so frustrated. I thought I'm the worst cactus breeder ever to like do cactus stuff. But yeah, after years and years and years, I finally worked out ways that work for me. And one thing I need to say is, you have all these different methods where people recommend using different ways to grow seedlings. And very, very many of them do not work for the people in a different climate. So you have, like, for example, I know a lot of people who use pumice, like growing in pumice, growing in a mineral soil. It's a perfect way to do it, but there's such a high risk of failure if you do not know how to do the water management, if you don't have the perfect like water mix, like soil mix, pH level and all that stuff. Everything needs to be right, and you need to be careful about fertilizing, all that stuff. So in the very first months of these seedlings' life, they are already in a situation where the soil works but not really. So in my opinion, I make better experiences with organic growth, like sowing soil. Just sowing soil. It is called sowing soil for a reason, and it helps you in the first months to keep your seedlings alive. You just have to make sure that there's no fungus gnats, that you don't have any like catastrophic moss inside. But apart from this, a sowing soil is a great way to grow your seedlings. It just stays dry for a little bit longer, and if you use pumice, you have a soil that's constantly drying out, and not everyone knows how to deal with this. Again, I know many breeders who work pumice and do great work. Like they do commercially, they lock these bags up and never open them. But yeah, you need to be very good to do that. And it's safer, sometimes it's safer to just do completely normal sowing soil, put it in a bag, keep it sealed for 2 or 3 months. You need to constantly check, like for, if you lose a seedling in the hole in one container, it can instantly spiral out of control. So you need to watch them all the time, but with a sowing soil, you are very often better off than with mineral medium. Later on, when they are bigger, I switch them to a pumice medium, because at that point, too much water can be dangerous. Here's a perfect example. This is a sowing soil. These were raised in sowing soil and then moved into pumice. And this is perfect because there's no moss, there's no fungus gnats. You just have this medium that can store water, nutrients, and dries out fast. But yeah, in the first months, I really recommend using like a sowing soil if you do not perfectly know what you're doing. Here's a plant that I fought really hard for during the winter. This is Snoopy's Goodbye. This plant flowered the day our dog Snoopy died, and we almost lost it over winter. Fungal infection started from one day to another. In perfectly healthy plant, and then the next day it wasn't. But yeah, I saved it probably, and you can see the first pup coming out. This is one of the situations where I was the happiest man in the world, simply because this plant means something to me personally, you know. Alright, so this is enough. I might do a video about the sowing soil stuff that I've just told you, because I went on a rant here because it fit the situation. But yeah, this is something that might really be interesting to people who search for this kind of information. So I might record another video about this sometime soon. Alright, yeah. What I will do now is I will take separate videos and photos of all the flowers that I've just shown you. I need photos of them all so I can like keep record of what's good, what's not good, and then I take a break. I'm already over my normal time where I work, so time for a little like tea break, you know. Okay guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's great to have you around on the channel. Channel has crossed 3,000 members recently, subscribers, and the YouTube channel has grown very, very slow. It was like painfully slow. At some point I felt like I can't keep on doing this because I put a lot of work into it. So it's great to see it grow like this and people writing comments and all that stuff. I appreciate it. Take care.